After making sweet, sweet love with Fernando after we came back home from dinner, we were in bed cuddling. Actually, he was massaging my back. And, a pillow talk. We're just talking about basically how we feel about each other and stuff. And he said something that really hit me and it made me think about it later when I went home. I had to do a lot of introspection. And that's the thing I love about being around people who care about me. The intentionality of it ensures that the people who love me are able to tell me stuff without fear. And generally, I find this really, really improving the relationship. That's what I want to talk about. So, today's topic is navigating life as a firstborn. And I want to talk a little bit about my experience being a firstborn to my mother in our home and how that has impacted my growth into becoming the kind of woman that I am right now and the parts of it that I'm trying to heal from and the parts of it that I'm trying to illuminate even more because while it has its cons, I think being a first one is also such a beautiful blessing and situation. But of course, after you heal and go to the other side of it, that's when you're able to see it from a different perspective. It's taken me so many years and so many tears and fights and unlearning to get to where I am. And I'm still growing and learning. But I want to share so far what I feel and what I know about being a firstborn. So, what Fernando said is there's something that I wanted to do, but it wasn't a good decision for us. And to be honest, he's the sane one in the relationship. He's the one who's always making better decisions for us, even if it means he's going to be unhappy. He's way better than me. And I think that's because he genuinely cares about me like just as a human being, not even as someone who like is in my life romantically or sexually, just like a friend. And that really helps the situation because sometimes, to be honest, I'm pushed by selfish desires, horniness. When you love someone, you just want to be with them, and sometimes you just want them inside you, and that can cloud your judgment and decisions. So, Apo kwa could make better decisions for us. I totally trust him. But I've not been reflecting my trust in him because sometimes when I want something so bad, he ends up giving in. He never says no to me. He ends up giving in. And then I learn the lesson later, which is fine. I need to be specific so that you guys are not floating, right? I've just realized that as I was speaking. I wanted to have sex with him and we were just coming off from an argument and I was feeling very, very horny. My need for sex was not even about mending the relationship or like makeup sex or anything. It was just I was horny and I really, of course I missed him and all that, but like what was at the top of my head was that I just wanted to get fucked. And he was trying to say, no, I'm gonna drop you home. This is like like a month before. And he was saying, no, I think we need to fix stuff first before we have sex because I know how you get when we have sex when we've not solved stuff and it doesn't solve the situation or the relationship. So maybe we just need to work on making sure we're friends first, which is something that is absolutely beautiful to me because this is exactly how I am and he knows how I am. So he tries to think for me while I'm not using my brain, which is something I find actually really thoughtful. So fast forward to this time we're in bed and he's telling me, you see, like last time I was saying we didn't need to have sex. I just wanted to drop you off so you could go home and then I'd see you another time after we fixed the situation. But you say no sometimes, and it puts me in a very awkward position because it's not like I don't want to sleep with you. It's just that I don't want to sleep with you when we're fighting. And I need you to listen to me more when I make such decisions for us because at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to deal with the aftermath of you feeling like shit after we do something that you weren't really thinking about like that all the way to the end about how it was going to make you feel in the end. But I want you to know that I would never make a decision for us that would hurt you. My priority is always making sure that you're okay first, and then all my other selfish desires will come after that. When I went home, I really thought about this because it not only meant, in addition to that, he said, you need to trust me as the man, as a man in your life. You need to trust me. You might think in your head you're trusting me, but you're not relinquishing control and I don't mean that I want to be in charge or to be in control. I'm just saying sometimes I feel like you need to trust me when I'm making these decisions for us because I would never make a decision that would hurt you intentionally. To be honest, he does have a good track record. He's proven himself over the last so many years that he actually does give a fuck about me. And he said, so allow me to take care of you, allow me to make decisions, and allow me to just show you that I can be there for you and I can support you and I can treat you really well. So, first of all, the first feeling that I got from that was, oh my goodness, this is so sweet. He's being so sweet. But then this feeling started creeping at the back of my mind for why would I trust a man? Why would I let a man's words? Mind you, this is not a random man. This is a man I've been in love with for the longest time. This is a man I trust so much, a man I truly care about. And I was just thinking, why would I trust the words of a man? So I find it really difficult trying to balance between allowing people to love me and just treat me really well because I've been let down so many times before. And doing everything on my own, protecting myself, providing for myself, and just being my own person because I never let myself down and I always get shit done exactly the way it needs to be done. So the thing is, this has been hindering me from being able to receive love properly. And I apologize to my friends who are going to be listening to this episode because I have a really beautiful community. I have the people around me truly love me really well and treat me really well. But I can tell they really struggle with my apprehension towards receiving love all the time because not only do I not let people do things for me, I also tend to not expect anything from people. And what this looks like sometimes is like neglect. For instance, I have a friend who's very much a big gifter. She gets me gifts very randomly. Me, I'm more of a money person. Like I'm more of a friend who send money rather than go and actually buy something. Because I'm not a big shopper. I don't. It's not an excuse. It's not something I do. I'm not a big shopper. I only shop when necessary. I'm not online looking at things to buy or things to shop unless it's something I really, really need. But my mom is the complete opposite of me. She's always shopping. Every day she's always somewhere buying something. So that's how I know there's people who exist who are amazing gifters because they consistently are in spaces where they can see things that the next person might like or the next person might want. And something with big gifters is that they're very thoughtful. They plan ahead, like they put it in their head, I'm gonna get Roberta flowers. I'm gonna order something for her dinner or whatever. But for me, I truly hardly ever have pre-thoughts of getting people stuff unless it's necessary, which is something I'm trying to work on. So most times if people need me, that's when I'll show up for them. Like if someone tells me, I like this, I want this, in that moment is when I will get it for them. But the pre-thought that, oh my God, let me get this for her. She's going to need it on Friday or next month, or I'm the type of friend who sends money most times. I'll send the money so that I don't know. I think money is also a good gift, but I'm trying to work on that. All this is coming from I believe all this is coming from my childhood experiences growing up. And I want to talk about how it has impacted my dating life and my friendships and my life in general, because I see this showing up across so many other people who are also firstborn. So growing up as a first child in my home, I think especially as a firstborn, there's this presumption that you always have your life figured out and you think for yourself. So I hardly ever received adequate support, especially emotional support, because I always looked like I had my stuff figured out. I was a very obedient kid. I always had my stuff arranged. I always think about myself. Everything in my life is always in order. I'm hardly ever chaotic about, like, I know where everything I need to know is. I've already planned out my week, my month in advance. I'm very type A when it comes to things that need to get done. And I've always been this kind of kid, and this is the kind of adult I've grown up to become. So the thing is, I get very short very easily with people who do not act the same. And I also noticed myself having a very low tolerance for people who complain so much and stay stuck in negativity. I'll give an example. Like I said, as a firstborn, I always have my shit figured out. If I need something, I will find a way to make it happen. If I'm lacking something, I will find a way to make sure I have what I want. It could be something as simple as the meaning of a word. Say I see a new word and I want to know what it means. I'll easily just Google, or yeah, I'll do my research and find out what this word means. But I notice there's other people who, especially people who are used to being dependent on other people. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying it's different from me. They will go to Now, someone who is like me and ask. Instead of going online and just Googling for themselves, they'll find me and ask me. So this has been going on all my life. And this happens all the way from, I feel like even my parents in some ways, they parentified me and they were always expecting me because I'm a firstborn, I know stuff. And because I always get stuff done, even as a kid, they would come to me with their emotions, their financial issues, their fights, the everything that was going on in the family. And I was always expected from a very young age to figure things out and to make sure people have things going. I was the one who was cooking for the family from as young as 8 years old. I was the one cleaning the home. I was the one making sure my younger brother is safe. And because my parents were consistently working, they hardly ever had enough time to be available, especially emotionally and physically. So it means I was like the default parent. If anyone needed anything, I was the one who would be called. How to connect the internet, how to change passwords, how to go shopping, how to buy stuff, how to drive the car, how to take people to the hospital, how to. It was me who was the next parent, and it was me who was doing everything for everyone in the family. And remember, I said not just the physical work, this stemmed to the emotional work, the financial anxieties, leadership, even being asked tutavaa nini, tutakula nini from a very young age. So this is the person I've been groomed to be. So now it reached a point that I started experiencing fatigue. I remember when I was in Form 2, I was about 16 or 15 years old, and I went home on holiday from high school because I was the one who was doing everything and still getting treated like shit. I was still being insulted. I could wash the whole house, but when they come and they find dishes in the sink, why didn't you wash the dishes? But I'm like, bro, I washed the whole house. It's just a spoon. Someone else can wash it. So this clicked something in my head, and I realized it doesn't matter how much I prove that I can be there for people, I can show up for everyone. No one will ever see me. I'll never be chosen. I'll never be seen. I was always still getting flack for being the kind of person that I was. So it just like a switch went off in my head, and I decided I'll just stop. I'm not doing any labor. I'm not doing any emotional labor for anyone else. I'm not taking care of anyone. I'm not being a parent to anyone. I'm not doing any of this work for anyone. And I think from as young as that age, I just knew I never wanted to be a mother. The farthest I could go was for my cat. And that's why I've consistently had pets. But other than that, I just decided I'm not doing the work for anyone else. I've had to raise myself. So I think everyone else should have their own capacity to do this for themselves. So, how this translates right now in my relationships is that I always expect people to have life figured out the same way I do. And I actually feel very tired when I'm around people who keep complaining. Oh, my boyfriend, dump him, dump him. If he's treating you badly, he's making you sad. You've been complaining for the last 3 months. Leave him alone. Oh, my job, my job, my job. Quit, resign, leave that place, leave it alone, find something else to do, start putting your energy into something else that will actually make you happier. And people might argue that this thought comes from privilege, but you have to understand that I'm a self made person. Self made in the sense that nobody taught me how to regulate my emotions. Nobody parented me essentially. Don't get me wrong. I went to nice schools. My stuff was always paid for. I was always taken care of. But I'm talking about developmental wise. Nobody really nurtured my soul and my emotions. Nobody tried to nurture my brain. I did that all on myself to get to myself to the point that I'm at right now. So I usually start to feel like, why can't you do the same thing for yourself? Why can't you just stand up and do the work? Because I did it when I was 8 years old. What's so hard with you self-soothing and self-regulating to the point that you can be grown? And listen, I realize this is wrong because now I have people in my life who take care of me, they love me. Even my parents have grown to learn how to do all this. So now that I'm receiving it, it's very foreign to me. It's very scary. It's different, but I'm teaching myself to start receiving this love and accepting it. And I can see that the people in my life are very patient with me. They're not short with me when I don't know how to do something. They're able to explain to me with love and care. They're able to call me out with so much patience and grace. So this is what I'm teaching myself essentially. I've done all this other work of teaching myself how to be independent, but now it's like I have to unlearn the hyper dependence and now become someone who's able to depend on people and love people, just a healthy half and half balance of both. So I get really, really tired of complainers who stay stuck in negativity. And I realized that nobody ever showed me appreciation for this sort of perfection that I had achieved from a very young age. It became very normal for me. I was always a really good kid at home. I was always performing really well in school. And when you're always a like a high achiever, it becomes normal. Nobody else, no, people stop saying congratulations or acknowledging that you are beautiful or that you look well. Everybody just assumes. Everybody already tells her she's beautiful. She's beautiful. She knows. She's so successful. Everyone always knows she'll succeed. So people stop telling you things like, I see you, I notice you, congratulations. And hear me out. It's not that I'm saying that I need the external validation. It's just that when you've never had it and then all of a sudden now I'm in relationships where I'm receiving it without even having to ask for it, it's a bit confusing and it's making me not show up as the best girlfriend or the best friend or the best daughter in the relationships that I am in now because of my intolerance to, can I call it stupidity or ignorance, of the intolerance I have to people who just can't figure life out on their own. Everyone always just expects me to be perfect because I never show up when I'm weak. I never show up looking ugly, dirty, broke, poor, sad. Most of the times I'm outside with or with other people. I'm always at my optimal energy and it's not fake. It's just that that's who I am. I truly am a very, very happy person most of the time. But I also like to unwind and just be sad sometimes. And how I notice this is sometimes I'll be the one who's the complainer. I never complain. Like the whole year, you could catch me complaining once or twice. And maybe it's because of a service I received somewhere that made me, that was unsatisfactory, or because a boyfriend did something to me. But I'm not someone who dwells in negativity or complaining. Most of the times, I'm truly grateful and happy. And that is because I truly am in beautiful situations and I'm happy most of the time. So the one time that I go to complain and say, hey, this guy hasn't called me back, most of my complaints are always met with logic. It's people trying to explain it away. You know, you're a smart girl, you're beautiful, just leave him alone. And I notice I get annoyed because this is exactly what I do to other people. So it's just a mirroring back to me. The intolerance that maybe I've been displaying before is what is being mirrored back to me. So what that taught me is also to stop. I mean, people can complain. I can have boundaries about the amount of negativity I can take in, let's say, per quarter. But then it's also showing me that people never have tolerance for people they deem to be perfect. Like, because people never think I ever get sad, they never give me the opportunity to be sad. So when I truly am sad, I have no one to go to. And this has always been my life as a firstborn. I have no one to look up to. I have no one above me to say, hey, my older brother is going to listen to my problems, or hey, my parent is going to do this for me. No, it's just always been me doing stuff for myself on my own. And it's sad because I want to be able to go somewhere where I can just cry. And listen, I'm not saying I don't have friends I can cry. I can cry too. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Maybe you will by the end of it's just different dynamics. Even when I have somewhere to go to cry to, my emotions are not taken as something we can linger on or a space we can wallow. Like, yeah, let's talk about it. Why are you sad? It's always met with, okay, you're sad, just breathe. You'll be fine in 5 days. No, I want to be sad. I want to sit in my sadness. Like, I lost a jacket. I lost a really expensive jacket. And this jacket, maji mepotea Nairobi this whole week. Okay, at least where I live, there was no water for the whole week. But I had soaked some of my clothes with intention to wash them the next day. And then the next day, my kapotea, and we got a notice that the water wouldn't be back for a week. So that meant that I had to find a way to wash those clothes or leave them soaking in the water for a week. After 2 days, the clothes were already starting to smell funky. So I decided, you know what, with the storage water that I have, I'm going to wash these clothes and then I'll find a way to get more water if I need it. So I washed my clothes. And even as I was putting them on the hang lines, I touched that jacket and I told myself, maybe I shouldn't hang this jacket here. Actually, I had a problem with hand washing it in the first place, but I said, you know what? I've soaked it. It needs to be clean. These clothes are already smelling funky, so let me just hang it. Na nikatumia tu pegs zangu za 150. These pegs were like 170 shillings, and that jacket, the jacket was 1800 and it was a gift. And I've worn that jacket like less than 5 times, saving it for special occasions. So I had worn it like a month ago a few times, and then I finally got to wash it. I remember telling myself as I was hanging it, should I really hang this jacket here? And then with this cheap peg, I was like, it's going to I live really high on my building. So I knew it was going to dry in a couple of hours. True to my words, I hung the clothes and I went to take a nap. After 2 hours, I woke up. And when I went outside, some of my clothes had fallen from the lines. Usually, when they fall, someone will pick it up for you and put it within the building. You'll always find it, or you'll just find it on the ground. I looked for that jacket. I looked for that jacket. I went everywhere around. I even asked the group. I asked the caretaker. I asked everyone around. Back at the shopkeeper. Umeona hii jacket. Nobody saw the jacket. So I'm thinking somebody probably knew the value of the jacket and just picked it for themselves. The fact that the jacket was really expensive is painful, yes. But something that was really painful is that the jacket was a gift that held sentimental value. And that's why I didn't wear it anytime, anywhere. Okay, that's just a backstory. So now I'm frustrated the whole day. I was actually really, 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 really sad about it. 3 out of the 5 people that I told I lost this jacket, their response was, don't worry, you'll buy another jacket. And that made me realize, like, maybe people just don't see me like that. Even the people in my life, they don't see me like that. They see me and they think they see me. But you see, I'm the one who's always sitting in emotions with people. I'm the one who's always asking questions, how was the jacket? How are you feeling about it? Okay, what do you think? What, na, 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 na. For me, straight right to, it's okay, it's fine. You'll get another jacket. So what this has done, and this is just one example, what this has affirmed to me is that I really might have, and this is not exclusive maybe to firstborns, this is maybe an adult thing. At the end of the day, I'm the one who's always going to have to be able to solve, including my emotional issues, on my own. I mean, I can share the problems I have, I can talk about them, but at the end of the day, maybe nobody cares as much as I could ever care for my own things. So I don't know, should I be able to communicate with my friends like, hey, this is how I felt. I feel like when I tell you something, I would like for us to talk about it a bit more than just changing the subject or jumping to something different? Or should I just start keeping to myself a lot more and just figuring shit out on my own? See, the default would be to just back off and figure shit on my own. But I don't think that's healthy. I feel like I should be able to say, hey, let's wallow on this a little bit longer, because during your issues, I sit with you in them. I want you to also sit with mine. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. And that's part of the unlearning and healing, because something with Fernando is, with him, I don't even have to really explain the origin of why I feel this way. He just gets it. He knows when we're in bed and he was telling me, allow me to take care of you, allow me to make decisions and to fix the stuff that I need to fix. It made me realize that there's people who can see beyond themselves and there's people who can hold space for me. Kind of this started making me, part of the introspection started making me want to raise my standards even more, because if he can see me in this way, why can't everyone else who's in my life see me in a similar way? Because what he's teaching me basically is to be able to see other people as well, because this introspection was full circle, because it made me realize my intolerance was what was also is exactly what people are doing to me. So I need to unlearn it so that other people can also unlearn it higher. I find myself having an aversion to showing up for people, especially if it's not an emergency. And you see, this is not how relationships work. Something else we were talking about was we were at the restaurant and it was really dark. We were the last ones at the restaurant. Actually, the restaurant had closed. We just sat there laughing and telling stories. And then he went to the restroom na stima zilikuwa zimezimwa. When he came back, he said it was really, really dark there. And I made a joke about a horror movie and how um, in case something crazy happened, I would definitely not come to save him. I would have to call someone else to come. And this is a conversation we've had before about being each other's emergency contact. So, of course, for him, he said, in case you're in trouble, you call me. You call me immediately and I will show up. And for me, I told him, please don't put me as your emergency contact. And my reason was because, number one, I said, I've been showing up for everyone all my life. Like, it's been my job to do that for people. I've been doing it since I was fresh out the coochie. I've been doing it all my life. And I don't have anyone I mean, I do have people, like I keep saying, I hope you people understand me and you don't, especially my friends who are going to listen to this episode. I hope they don't take it as I'm saying they wouldn't show up for me. It's just, these are my internal feelings that I'm feeling. It's not that I'm accusing them or I'm saying this is how they show up for me or don't show up for me. This is just how I'm feeling. And it's subject to be very different for everyone else and how they experience me. I told him I truly have fatigue from being everyone's emergency contact all my life. But other than that, my reaction to emergencies is not the best. I'm not the fastest in response. I might freeze, I might panic, I might start crying and break down. And if it's an emergency, you need a fast responder. Everyone in my life knows this. My brothers, my family members, everyone knows Roberta is the person we've called after we have solved the issue. You don't call me in the thick of it. And you especially don't wake me up at night and say, oh, nani amekuwa kwa sijui accident, nini, nini. Because if anything were to happen to them, it's happened. It's happened. I can also still deal with it in the morning when I wake up. If I show up in that moment, I'm probably just going to derail the progress of um, saving the person because I'm going to be hysterical. I'm going to be very emotional. I don't do well under such pressure. Everyone in my life knows not to call me as the emergency contact. You call me when things have cooled down, then that's when now I can start being level headed and I can function better. And I think this is to do with my nervous system being short from being the person who was always responding, being the person who's always taking care of people, always showing up for people, always. I'm so sorry to my friends right now because they're noticing this aversion. Like, and I could say it might look like I'm very detached emotionally and I don't care, but it's not that. It's just me unlearning the people pleasing and trying to balance. So it might take a while before I reach an equilibrium, but for now, I just do the best I can with what I have. I'm not able, at least I can communicate and say, hey, don't put me as your emergency contact. Instead of, avoiding, ignoring, not showing up for people, not being there for people, I communicate, but I am unlearning and I am doing the work. And also, this aversion has also made me look like I push people away who actually do the work because of the silent expectation of reciprocation. For instance, if someone does something for me, I start to panic because I start thinking, oh shit, now they're going to expect it back. They'll want me to do this for them again. Now I have to think about what to do for them in return. When in real sense, the people who love me are not counting. They're not thinking, Ati, I did this for her. Now she has to do this. They're just doing out of the kindness of their hearts. But this is stemming from especially my relationship with my mom when I was younger. It was a really rocky relationship. And anytime she was frustrated, she would say, I do everything for you. I pay your school fees. I take you to the. So I usually get really scared when people start doing stuff for me. When someone buys me something, I immediately start thinking, I need to buy something back to your deni ishe, or I need to do something back for them so that this is over. But I'm realizing with the people in my life right now, all these thoughts are in my head. They never do things while counting. They never think about, I did this for you. You should do this for me. And that is also something that I'm trying to reach a healthy balance of. I mean, I can reciprocate because you can't just be doing nothing in relationships. Then mine motivation is not coming from kindness most. Okay, all I mean there is kindness attached to it, but the factor, the most charging factor is fear of shit. She bought for me dinner. Now I have to buy for her dinner. She did this for my birthday. Now I have to do this for her birthday. Because it just gives me anxiety. Something else I'm noticing about myself is that I get really, really turned off by incompetence. And this is stemming from me always being able to do stuff for myself and knowing and figuring shit out and knowing how what needs to be done how. So even in dating, when I'm dating someone and I figure out that they do not like they always have problems, they don't know how to fix their problems, they don't know how to take care of themselves, they don't know how to do basic stuff for themselves, I get really turned off. And this has made me walk out of a lot of situations, not just in relationships, but also in working environments. When I'm in a situation where I feel like I have to extend myself, because also being a firstborn it's like your instilled natural leadership. If you go somewhere and you find people are just sat and no one is making things happen, it's like almost you find yourself making yourself take up the responsibility of taking charge and making sure stuff is happening. And I've had to start teaching myself to stop doing that unless I'm getting paid for it, because it is excess emotional labor, not just emotional, but physical as well. Entering spaces and taking charge, unintentionally sometimes it is very taxing to me. So I don't, these days I'm very cautious. I don't take charge of anything unless I'm being paid for it or unless I'm asked explicitly. And I will charge for that. I will give you a rate card. If you're calling me to panga sijui mikakati, to arrange things, to do what, even to my friends, these days I really try to hold myself from giving unsolicited advice, from telling people what to do, from guiding people. The best I do is listen and encourage. I will just encourage you towards your own answer. If you tell me, oh, I have a boyfriend, he's beating me up, naturally, what I used to do is first, I would get very frustrated and short tempered and be like, why can't you just leave him? But now I realize that is also labor that I'm taking in that is not necessarily my job to do. So I just listen. And then now after that, what have you decided for yourself? Okay, I'm here for you, whatever decision you make. That's the best I can do. I really hold myself from giving unsolicited advice. I hold myself from telling people what to do because this is also something that comes very naturally as a firstborn. I grew up having to actually tell people what to do. And this is from my parents telling them, pay this, do this, come here, go here. So I find it translating in the relationships now. And it's not such a good thing to be doing to people, especially, let's say, when you have a really good lover. Let's say, in my instance, I'm dating a really good man. Bossing him around, telling him what to do all the time and never listening when he actually also needs to tell me what to do. It's not a good trait. It's actually really such a turn off. So that's something I'm unlearning, and that's something I'm teaching myself to do, to listen more, to shut up, and to stop giving people unsolicited advice. It's not fun. We brush it off as, I was a firstborn, but it actually is such a turn off. Like, sometimes just shut up and also listen to other people. Let other people teach you. Let other people guide you. Let other people take charge. Let other people make decisions for you. And it's actually such a nice feeling when you can just sit back and trust that things will be fine. And listen, you might argue that people never do things right if I let them do. You know what? Let them do it their way. Let them do it their way. Also, when someone is doing something for you, stop trying to tell them how to do it. I like this. I mean, this is an exception. I'm not saying that if you like milk chocolate, someone buys for you dark chocolate and then you just don't tell them anything about, I actually don't like dark chocolate. No, I'm saying when someone is trying to put in the effort, acknowledge them. First, be grateful that they actually even got you the chocolate. Be grateful and then teach them with kindness and grace. Explain, have playful banter instead of being, I told you I don't like this chocolate, I don't know why you would do. Basically just learning kindness and learning how to be a bit more listening when other people are talking. This means that in my relationships, I've always been very, very intolerant. I'm always really ready to leave any situation that does not benefit me or make me feel safe or make me feel loved or listened to. And I'm learning this is not also a good trait. If you want a relationship to work, you have to learn a lot of forgiveness and understand that people are also human beings. They're going to disappoint you. They're going to make mistakes along the way, and they're going to fumble. But the difference in these relationships is the willingness to want to make something work. You always have to come from a space of seeing your partner, seeing your lover, seeing your friends and your parents from the good side. I'm not saying absolve them from the wrong shit they've done to you. I'm saying also see the good sides. Also see, this person is trying. This person did this to me. This person did this for me. They love me. They are trying in their own ways. And being the kind of person who always plans my life for myself, I found myself being blind to other people's needs sometimes. And this looks like I don't care, but I'm sorry, it's just a hyper dependence. It also can look like narcissism and like I'm really obsessed with myself. But remember, I'm saying I'm trying to build a healthy balance between thinking about myself and thinking about other people. Because all my life, I've always been thinking about other people. It's just recently that I've started thinking about myself. It might take a while before I reach a healthy balance, but I'm just lucky that I have people around me who are very tolerant and very kind. Another side effect of this is that it makes me not be too trusting because of the possibility of being let down, while simultaneously yearning to be cared for. I mean, I really hate people who make empty promises. I hate people who say the things that they're not gonna do. I hate people who talk a lot but they are not action motivated. They just say, well, I was going to buy you this, I was going to take you here, we're going to travel, we're going to buy this. But I don't see any action, because as a firstborn, I'm used to action. I always do everything I say I'll do. I always make do with my promises. I don't say things I don't mean. When people do that to me, I get really, really offended and turned off. While I'm yearning to be loved and cared for, and I'm yearning to have these people in my life who, can do all these things for me, at the same time, I'm not as trusting. I'm always waiting for people to drop the ball and to disappoint me and to fuck up, because that's all I've seen most of my life, which is not a good thing. I know you shouldn't judge people based off your past experiences, but then it doesn't mean to invalidate the patterns that you've seen in the past. For instance, if I forgive you over something you did and then you disappoint me again, to be honest, I have really strong boundaries, so I'm just going to cut you off. But then at the same time, I'm supposed to be learning how to be graceful and to understand that people don't break habits in one day or in a month. It's a learning curve. You learn, you fail, you mess up, you fuck up, you make the same mistakes again, and then you learn, and then you get better, and then you'll fail again. But then I have very low tolerance, because remember, I've been like this for over 2 decades. I've been so giving and loving and kind and pouring myself out there, putting myself last. Trying to reach a healthy balance is something that I've really, really been trying to work on. And this is not just in relationships with people. Remember, I said this just makes me not even participate in projects where I'm being expected to baby people, to put in the extra work. It's so difficult when you're a leader to by nature to push back, but it's something I'm finding necessary so that I'm able to preserve my own life. And then it will also start attracting, you'll also start finding yourself, as you're healing and growing, you'll find yourself attracting a lot of the people who will mirror you or remind you of what you shouldn't be doing or how you used to be. And this is going to trigger the fuck out of you. For instance, a lot of people who see me as being better than them, or feel that they are inferior to me, have tried to humble me in so many instances. And most times I wasn't really understanding why, but it's because people already see you as better than. So they don't understand when you're also um struggling, or when you're also having a bad day. Like currently online, I'm being dragged for a video I recorded early last year about circumcision. In the video, in the clip, I'm talking about swinging, using sex toys and stuff. And a lot of I haven't read the comments myself. I haven't seen anything, but I can, because I'm seeing people talk about it. When you're online and you see people talk about you on that unrelated post, it's very indicative of the comments that I might see when I open the post. And that shows me that they don't even know the context of the conversation. They've taken a clip that is just under 5 minutes, and they're going to say all this bullshit about me and talk all these things about me. And when people are talking shit about me, there's people who send me those clips. And I usually wonder, why do you want me to see things of people talking shit about me? If you truly are my friend and you care about me, why would it make you, how is it in your head making you think, wow, people are calling Roberta a prostitute, then let me send her this video so she can see? Why do people do that? What is the aim? Is it to make me feel worse? Is it to give me more anxiety? Is it to make me feel, because I don't think the intention would be to make me feel proud of myself and to love myself once I see the comments from people. I don't think that would be the straight intention. So it's very interesting. And then a eureka moment hits you and you realize, oh, these people actually want me sad. That's why they're sending me such videos, so that I can feel miserable and sad, and I can feel my self-esteem go low, and I can feel bad, because what else would be the intention? And then you start to realize that these are people who actually feel subconsciously, you can be living your life, you're not thinking about other people. Let me make Roberta have a worse day, because me, I'm already not having a good day. And that's because they already feel inferior to me. That's the message I get. I feel like if you do such things, you're already miserable and you want me to share in the misery, which is quite unfortunate, because truly the people who love me have never done such a thing. I have, because me mwenyewe sionangi hizo posts, they're not on my timeline. I don't get to see them. My friends don't send them to me. Like the people who love me, they don't send me those things. So I get really confused when people do that. But that's one explanation I get. And such people are going to linger around you, especially if you're doing the intentional work of healing. A lot of people will try to remind you who you used to be, where you're coming from, and this might trigger you. But these are the learning parts. These are the parts where you should be able to tell yourself, that's not who I am. So I'm not going to mirror you. I'm going to do better and be better and heal better so that I can treat you better than you want to treat me. I'm going to heal from this situation. I'm going to learn more about myself. I'm going to learn and realize, why did this piece of information trigger me? What is it about what this person did to me that made me feel this about myself? And then you work on it, and then you try to become better intentionally for yourself. I'm teaching myself to let go, especially in safe environments. And I think your body will always tell you if you're safe. Your body will always tell you if you're around people who actually love you and care about you. Ni sisi tu hatusikizangi, but if you try to listen to your intuition and you try to be very patient with yourself and listen to yourself really well, you're going to know if the space you're at and the people you're around are a safe environment for you. Because I am surrounded by beautiful people who truly loved me, and I've seen this over and over the years. I'm so proud and confident in the people who are in my life right now, all the way from my family to my friends to the people my pets to my home, the places I go, and this is intentional work. I didn't just stumble upon this. It's through me working on myself consistently that has got me to a space where I can be able to even say these words. I know a lot of things stem from our childhoods, just as a lot of these feelings that I've shared. Today I've been a bit vulnerable, called myself out. A lot of these feelings are stemming from our childhood, especially comparison, being not being upholded and uplifted in your relationships, and then people not showing up for you in the ways that they should have. And then now that you're an adult, the same people turning around and starting to need you in ways that they never taught you how to show up for them. It's really confusing. But what I can say to all this is, as I'm learning and unlearning, as I'm growing through my own journey right now, it's so important to have very strong boundaries, to have very clear communication, and to teach yourself to reciprocate. Don't reciprocate from a place of fear, reciprocate from love, and communicate from love as well. Always assume the best of your partner. Say someone hasn't texted you back. The first thing we think about is, he's with another girl, he's cheating on me. No, think other positive things. Like, what if he's just somewhere having a really, really nice, fulfilling day? He will get to me when he gets to me. He will call me when he calls me. He will speak with me. And then also, when you're having your own busy, full day, it's really hard to be stuck in negativity and always thinking and expecting wrong from people. Have boundaries. Have very strong boundaries for yourself as well. It's a very delicate dance. I'm also trying to figure out this balance of teaching myself to open my heart out and allow people in and allow people to love me, take care of me, teach me things, love me, and even buy me things. Something that I'm still getting used to is, especially when my girlfriends send me money. You see, I'm the type of girl who sends money, but when my girlfriend send me money, I get so stressed because I'm thinking, oh no, women go through so much. Why is she sending me money? Sometimes it's very random, like, hey, babe, just have some lunch. And it really stresses me out. But I see it's coming from, when my mom would give me money and then remind me, I'm giving you money because of. It's not fair for me to treat the people in my life right now with the fears I have from my childhood. And even now, I'm starting to teach myself to even accept gifts from my mom. Right now, my mom is a completely different person and we have a completely different relationship. And sometimes when she does things for me, she's my parent, but when she does things for me, I feel very uncomfortable. But even then, I'm teaching myself how to accept for her to love me, how to accept for all my friends to love me. This was just a vulnerable post. To all my friends who end up listening to this, I hope you guys get an insight of how I've been feeling and how I'm feeling. By the way, this week, my period came a day ago, yesterday. The whole week, I've been going through a very deep depression. I've just been in bed, unable to get up. I've been very, very sad and reclusive. It's just now that my energy is up and I decided, let me record this and talk about the feelings I have within myself. Because even this week, nobody really has checked up on me. I mean, every month I go through this PMDD thing, and most of the advice I'll get is, go to a doctor, get checked, get medicine, get on supplements, just logical solutions. But nobody really shows up for me like, Bobby, what do you need? How can I be there for you? How can I love you? How can I, telling me sweet things, telling me they love me? It's just straight to the, like, bro, I already know that. I'm a firstborn. I've been taking care of everyone. Trust me, Nisha, I've probably put in ways and solutions for myself. I've probably seen the doctors and found the logical solutions to my problem. But that doesn't really help when I'm in the thick of it. When I'm in the thick of it, I'm already in the depression. Sometimes I don't even know I'm depressed until I'm out of it. So nobody has checked up on me, and everyone who was checked up on me was checking up on me to get something from me, to ask me to shop for them in some way, to borrow me something. And these are the thoughts I have when I'm going through depression and sad, and I'm like, do people really love me? And listen, this might be just a thought within the week. I'm not saying my friends don't love me. I have to keep giving this disclaimer. But these are just thoughts I'm sharing. I hope that taken with kindness and positivity. I'm just sharing what's in my mind, and I'm learning as I go. But this has been me navigating life as a firstborn. I'm just so tired of showing up for people. I'm not saying I won't show up for people, I will, but it would be nice before you ask me for something, even check up on me. And asking me for something could be asking me for advice. There's people who consistently complain to me, I'm going through this, my mom has done this, my nini, nini, nini. But when I complain about one thing, like losing my coat, suddenly it's crickets. Nobody is able to sit with me in my emotions the same way I'm able to sit with them. It's just a thought I had, and it's just me sharing. So, tafakari hayo. Do the same introspection in your own personal life. Maybe think about it and tell me, what do you think about this episode? Am I selfish and entitled, or are my feelings valid? Tell me what you think. Right now, as a firstborn, my priority is me. I take care of myself before anyone else. I think about myself more than anyone else. The only other person I think about is maybe my cat and my home. Everyone else has become secondary to me. And listen, I said I'm trying to find a healthy balance where I'm able to show up for everyone as I show up for myself. But for now, muniwe tu radhi. I'm still trying to balance it out and figure it out as I go. Thank you. My name is Roberta Bobby. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. You can listen to me more every Tuesday on the Daybreak Show on Citizen TV at 8 a.m. in the morning. And I'm also a co-host at DWJ. You can go on YouTube, Dialogues with Jagero, and watch all the episodes we do. I talk about relationships, personal relationships, especially intrapersonal relationships, romantic relationships, all sorts of relationships, sex, and intimacy. Join me through this journey and let's learn together. Thank you for sitting with me throughout the hour. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I will be checking out your comments. Bye bye.